Edwin,
Pablito.
how was lunch? What'd you have for lunch today? Carl's Jr. Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger. There you go. That's the way to go, my friend. That's the way to go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Wind is blowing again, so I'm gonna come a little closer and I'm gonna talk with you. It's been about 2 weeks since I dropped another video on the progress of our pond. Our last video that we had, we found out it's approximately 7,500 gallons, so it's a pretty big one. And we've made some significant progress over the last couple of weeks. But before I show you all the progress we've made, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. That really helps our video out, helps to get up there to the algorithm and things like that. But sit back and enjoy as we go through the progress over the last. Boy, this wind is blowing.
Juanito and Edwin, how you guys doing? Good morning.
How are you today?
Good, how about yourself?
Oh, not bad. Thanks for asking.
So what we got going on today?
So today we're gonna drop some of these bigger rocks and create our first cascade, well, our final cascade from the top to bottom into the pond, and start forming our tiers going back to the spillway today.
And it's not an easy process, is it?
No, because some of these boulders, they're about 200 pounds, and there's no really a way to grab them. And so on some of these rocks, you only have one shot of setting it. So we gotta measure twice and cut once kind of thing. So with the boulders is take your time and don't rush.
Well, if you need my help, just call me.
Oh, will do.
Hey, Mom.
When he is happy, he loves to give anything.
But when he's not happy,
I just take.
say hi to Rainy Days. That's Rainy Days. Juan, what's happening? How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself, Paul?
Good. So what are we doing right now?
So today, right now, we just pour our pad. That's where our two pumps are gonna be, and our air pump is gonna be for the Helix biofalls. So that's what we're working today, and then finishing up, tidying up the electrical where our low voltage timer is gonna be, and then our transformer for your sound system, outdoor sound system is gonna be. That's what we're gonna be working on today.
And I mentioned this before, Juan, you always go above and beyond because you didn't initially know we needed that little area over there, but yesterday you came to me and said, hey Paul, I want to do this.
Yeah, so because it's gonna be a site where it's highly visible, so I'm recommending to do a little 3-foot wooden fence, something just kind of hide away so you don't see all the pumps that are gonna be there.
Now, is it big enough for my wife to put me over there?
It's gonna be big enough for your wife to put you over there, or you might even be able to climb over it yourself.
That'll work. There's the star of the show, Edwin.
Pablito,
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. You are the star of YouTube, Edwin. Everybody loves you. You are the star. So Juan, you down there now. What's up?
Yes, sir. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting the liner from the jets. So we have one jet here, another jet here, and then another one in the corner. And so those are the ones that are going to circulate water in a circular motion. Then I have another jet over here. So that's gonna give us a circle motion in the pond.
Cool. So Juan, what's up this morning?
Hey, good morning, Paul. How are you today?
Good, good. So what we got going on?
So today it's D-Day. We're gonna start grouting inside the pond, get everything cleaned up. We already washed the rocks, got all the loose dirt and film from the pouring. And now we're gonna vacuum it out and start grouting all the rocks inside the pond.
Now I noticed there's a tarp over there.
Yeah, so the tarp is for my UV safety. Because today we're supposed to hit, I think, 93 or 94. So this at least will provide me with some shade and I can stay cool and stay longer down there without having to come up for some fresh air.
Most definitely. And I see over there, we got a little hole over there. What's that hole?
Yeah, so if you get closer, I'll jump over onto the other side. And so, right here where I'm standing, it's an 18 by 18 inch hole. And it's about 14 inches deep. And so inside there, after getting some details from our sound guy, this is where our subwoofer is. And so our subwoofer is gonna sit in here. It's gonna sit in there. We're gonna put some weed barrier and then backfill it with sand. And then our subwoofer is gonna sit here, and then we're gonna split out our 4 speakers throughout your backyard. From the specs that we got, this will be the best spot for it. So you can get the best ambience out of the music once you're at that stage.
So I'll be jamming, right?
You'll be jamming, all right.
All right, I'm gonna check back in with Juan Cam just for a second. So Juan, what do we got over here?
So yesterday, when you took the picture, we had boxed in, and that's our slab for we call it our life support, because this is where our 2 pumps are gonna be. And then slightly to the right, the gray one, that's our Matala air pump, and that's what's going to feed oxygen into our biofalls to derive some oxygen into the pond, and also to inhibit good bacteria for the filtration system.
Now let's talk about the pumps that we have, because we have a couple of pumps. And what are the specs on the pumps?
So right here, what we have is a 1/4 horsepower pump. This one is a Helix 8200. So it's 8,200 gallons per hour that is going to be being pumped through the pond. So we have, this is our bigger one. This is that's going to work our suction grid, and then it's going to work our far end stream with the fall, and then the 3 jets that we have on the left side of the pond. And then next to it, we're going to have another pump right over here. Now in that pump is a 6,200 gallons. That 6,200 gallons is gonna be for our closest biofall, and it's gonna suck water from the skimmer. So it's gonna be pumping water from the skimmer into the biofall. And then we also have another line for a 4th jet that is inside the pond that is gonna help us circulate. And then once again, this is our Matala air pump, which is gonna send, once again, air into the biofalls and create oxygen for the beneficial bacteria. And then of course we're gonna finish off our electrical here, and then you're gonna have your transformer. Once we lay everything out, so you're gonna have your low voltage transformer, and then your transformer for your sound system as well.
What I thought was pretty neat, Juan, is how we're splitting off the pumps for different features. And I think that's awesome. That'll give us maximum flow, maximum water turnover, right?
Correct, and that's what we want to do. Normally, a lot of the times, sometimes corners are cut when it comes to pump, because they want to save on the cost of a pump. But in the long run, what you're actually doing is you're not filtrating as much water as you should in your pond, and that's why some ponds turn green, or they're just not, the water flow that you want to see coming out of the streams or the cascades is not the flow that you would like to see. So when we go with the exterior pumps, like we have the external pumps like we have here, this one's, I've seen them up to 18 years of running non-stop.
Wow.
With some minor maintenance, whether it's cleaning the impeller or just the gaskets, and then adding some lubricants on the gaskets. Other than that, they fairly run for a long time.
We got Juan and Fernando cam now. Juan and Fernando,
Hey, Paul.
what's going on?
Not much, my brother.
You guys remember Fernando from the last video too? And Fernando, you twisted my arm, so I went on and got it, man. So what do we have?
What we got you is we got you a nice entertainment system for your backyard. It's nice Adept audio by from Site One Landscape Supply speaker system. He's got 4 speakers. He's got an amplifier. He's got a subwoofer that's gonna kick out right in the middle. He's ready to have some parties. Yeah, it is gonna be weatherproof. It is for landscaping specifically. Right, the amplifier, basically your transformer that stays outside, nothing's indoors. Everything's waterproof to all the those IP standards that they need to be at. So it's 100%. It's gonna last.
So Juan,
Yes,
what did we just do? I saw that you was doing a brush and everything, and
Yeah, so it was just a wire brush just to remove some of the excess cement, some of the stuff that when we were grouting was knocked loose but still stayed in behind. So we brushed it all out and then vacuum it all out. And so now we're getting ready to do acid wash. That'll get rid of the lime, which is, it's literally poison for the fish. But also it'll help it clean up and edge the concrete and make it all safe for the fish here in about 2 to 3 weeks.
nice. So I better move out the way for the acid wash, right?
Yeah, it'll be a safe thing to do.
So Juan, that's about how much water I had in my pond before you did it, right?
Yeah,
the old
so-
pond.
This is what. Yeah, this is the total amount of water you're gonna have from now on.
Yeah. Juan got his fisherman gear on.
Got my Gumby suit on.
Yeah.
So you might want to explain who Gumby is to some of this generation.
Oh, yeah,
They might
Gumby.
not know who Gumby is.
Gumby and Pokey. Yeah, I grew up off of that. It was like a clay dude, and he was shaped like a Gumby. And then Pokey was a horse.
Yeah. I was actually, was it Pokey or was it Nopi?
Pokey, Gumby and Pokey.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But there was a character in Nopi too. He was nope.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember Nopi.
There's always no.
I think Nopi was Gumby's cousin.
So just so you kind of know what we got going on, so I have a smaller pump inside the pond hooked up to the water hose, and ultimately all we're doing is just recirculating the water that we have in the pond mixed with acid. So we're just rinsing everything down. Anywhere where I got concrete, we're rinsing down.
Juanito, what you got setting up right here?
Hey Paul. Oh, I'm just setting up just my cutting area where I'm gonna be setting up for drilling holes on my suction grid pipe.
And I see you down there, Juan. We did the acid wash, and the rocks look beautiful.
Yeah, so you see everything cleaned up, all the ashy, everything is gone off the rocks. So now it's just once I get the suction grit, we'll glue that down, drop our 3/4 inch rock, and then give it another rinse and start filling it up. Alright, so here is our pipe. This is what's going to be our suction grit. Now every 6 inches from the cap is going to have one hole at the bottom, and then every 6 inches there's going to be 3 holes, a set of 3 every 6 inches, and it's always going to be, so this right now, because of the way I have it clamped, it's facing up, but ultimately the pipe is going to be facing downwards. And the purpose of it is so when the gravel sits on top, everything is settling from the top and is being sucked from the bottom, and then it's being circulated through the filtration system. So that's what we're doing right now.
Juanito, good morning. What are we up to today?
Good morning, good morning. So today we're gonna be hooking up our suction grit. If you take a look down there, we have some tees. Let me grab one over here. So this is gonna be our suction grit. So it's basically a cross. So it's 3 inch and then 2 inch across. So we're gonna have 3 inch pipe going all along the axis all the way to the top, which are connection pipe. If you look at some of the previous videos, we had a pipe that used to stick out of the ground right here, which now we have disappeared. That was a 3 inch line. And then going across, we have our pipe now that has been perforated. It has 3 holes. They're 3/8 in size, and there's 3 of them at every 6 inches. And so this pipe is gonna go in here like this, going across, and then we'll have another pipe on the other end going across, and then 3 inches all the way to the suction. So that's going to be part of the suction grit. Now this pipe right now I have it facing up with the holes, but what we want to do is have this pipe, literally the holes gotta be facing down. So then we're going to cover it up with 1.5 inch gravel. It calls for 3/4, but because it is mixed, we're going with 1.5 inch. Now this gravel is going to be about 4 inches thick, so it's going to be a bed of rock in a sense. Now once the trash and debris, fish waste, whatever waste lands in there is going to go to the bottom, and then it's going to percolate through the bottom of the gravel, and it's going to get sucked through those pipes and then back into the suction grit and into our pump and then into our filtration system. So that's what we're going to be doing today, later on towards the end of the day. So now you can see we're filling the pond with gravel. This just because we didn't like the design, so we're just cover up again. No, it's just a joke. So now this is going to be our gravel that sits at the bottom. And so because this is rounded shape and it's not like the other common gravel or rock they use for landscaping, it doesn't compact. So the fish waste and any waste that percolates down into the bottom will go right between some of this cracks and grooves into all the piping that is down there. And what we're trying to achieve is about 4 inches worth of gravel down there.
There he is. There's the boss. What's happening?
Good morning, Paul.
We got some plants and everything today. What we got going on today?
So we got plants today. We got to jump into the landscaping part now. So we got all our plant materials placed in the back. Everything is going to be in the back, so we don't block any of the view of the pond once everything gets grown. Yes, sir.
Looks beautiful. Edwin,
Paulito.
looks good. Looks good. Now I saw you over there today earlier, Juan over here in this biofall, and you were putting like some sealant over there.
Yeah, so back there, because in those streams we're not using any concrete at all. So I have a gun that dispenses expanding black foam, and that's what we did around this boulder. We dressed it and filled it up back here, just so we want water to come over the top versus creeping on the edges. And so we encourage all the water to come over here. And then same thing back there. We put some foam seal. There is a little excess, but all that stuff gets trimmed away once it dries out. And it just locks everything in place.
I tell you what, before I let you go, remember, stay healthy, stay safe, and remember, I love you guys in life. Take care, folks.